Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is at the end of this video is you guys will be able to have some clarity on any questions that you currently have when it comes to shifting to working from home or working as a virtual assistant. Now if you haven't already, please hit subscribe right there and ring that notification bell so you guys will be able to see and know other videos that I have coming out on how to shift to having a career online. Whether you are someone who's shifting from a corporate job or you're actually a new graduate and you want to see what else is out there when it comes to this digital space. Now, as I go through these questions, if there's anything that I did not cover, feel free to comment below right now so I can go through it and maybe even reply to you guys right away what is the best practice or what is the best advice that I can give you on it. For those who have no idea who I am, my name is Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I have been working online for the last 10 years. I've been both the employee and the employer, so I know a really good balance between the two. Now, the first question that a lot of people ask when it comes to working online is, do you actually need training to become a virtual assistant or just someone who's working from home? Now, the short answer, no. The long answer is first you have to look at your skills. Look at the skills that you already know. Look at the skills that you already have that you might have brought over from your old job or from college. A lot of the time, skills that you think, jobs that you think should just be physical in a physical office can actually be easily convertible to working online. From bookkeeping to writing to even call center, customer service is actually something that you can shift to working online, to working from home. So think about all of the skills that you already have, and there's a video that I did right here on how to find your skills and your niche when it comes to working online. But you can already try to think about or create a list of all the skills that you currently have. And also I made this really quick PDF on 100 skills that you can do online. That's another thing that you can check out. I have so many resources for you guys. Make sure to check them out. But you can, again, just make a list. Just think about all the things that you've done in college. Maybe you've done some graphics. Maybe you've done some writing. Maybe you've done some really good research. That those are all skills that you can do when working online. So make that list. But then on the other side of it, let's say you don't have any experience at all, any experience that you can bring into it, then you can start simple. What are the soft skills they currently have? Are you someone who likes to organize? Are you like someone who pays attention to detail? Or are you someone who's more on the grander scale? Because a lot of the time, the soft skills that you have can be easily turned into more skills that can be hired for. For example, if you're someone who likes to organize, you can start with inbox management or Google Drive management for different clients, because then they're looking for people who can make sure that they see the right emails. They also don't get overbooked on their calendars. So being an organized person, being someone who looks at details, being someone who actually likes doing that, gives you much of an advantage than people who don't have that as a soft skill. So look at the skills you already have. But then if you're just trying to work online, if you're shifting from working from home, there's actually little training that you can actually take. It's actually best if you just learn on the job, if you're learning to see what works for you, because you could be studying all of the courses right now on how to work from home, but if you don't take action on it, if you don't actually test what works for you, then it's probably going to be just a waste of time and money. Now, the second question I usually get when it comes to working from home is, where can I find clients? Now, I actually did this video already on how to apply for a job online. I actually already talk about these different places that I'm going to start talking about. But the first place that I actually don't talk about a lot is your current connections. So it really won't hurt you posting on your Facebook or on your Instagram story that you are someone who's looking for this kind of job. So you never hurt to say, hey, is anyone looking for a writer? Is anyone looking for a bookkeeper? Is anyone looking for this kind of tech person? So you want to see if anyone else knows, maybe anyone else who could be hiring for exactly you. It never hurts to do that, because then you're also putting out that you are doing these services, because right now they might not have recommendations for you, but then later on, if they're talking to a friend like, yeah, I really need this kind of person, I really need this kind of skill, they're like, oh, wait, I know this person, yeah. Most of my own clients have been recommendations by other people, so never discount your own connection. Another place that you can look for clients is also Facebook groups. Now, I don't mean spamming, I don't mean posting on Facebook groups and looking for this kind of job, unless you can find a group that allows that. But what I mean is going to the Facebook search bar and actually typing in the skill that you have. So writer, graphic artist, bookkeeper, and whatever it is, and then or even just the word hiring. That way you can see who else is posting posted and said, hey, I'm looking for this kind of person. And then you can start a conversation, you can PM them or follow whatever instructions that they have if they say, hey, fill out this form or whatever. So just look at the details and see how they want to be contacted, because sometimes these people do sadly get bombarded. So you want to be able to stand out and make sure you're not just one of the people that they're replying to. Another place that you can start looking for clients is a place called onlinejobs.ph. I talk about it a lot. But basically, it's just a free platform where they don't charge you as an employee, they charge the employer. And I know this because we have an employer account instead of onlinejobs.ph. It's such a better platform if you're just starting out, if you have no funds, no experience. So it's just a good place to get started and test out those skills that you want to test out when it comes to working online. The next question is actually, what is a virtual assistant? So virtual assistant is actually a very broad term because it does cover a lot of different tasks. Sometimes you can start out as, like I mentioned earlier, you might be just managing someone's inbox, managing someone's calendars, managing someone's files, managing someone's day. That could be the basic of being a virtual assistant. But throughout the last few years, that has evolved to being so much more. You can be a social media manager, someone who's going through someone's social media, commenting, maintaining posts, making sure that they're visible. You could be a virtual assistant as someone who is helping them with website design or their own branding. Virtual assistant is really more of a generic term of someone who just works online, who might have very generic services, or someone who hasn't really narrowed down yet on one specific skill. That is what a virtual assistant is. And there's such a wide variety of things that you can do. You're not just going to be stuck on just doing admin tasks if you don't want to do admin tasks when it comes to working online. You can start there, and then again, you can evolve into doing other skills as you learn them. Next question I usually have is, does it cost anything to start working as a virtual assistant? Quick answer is, it depends. So you really need a few basic tools. One is a laptop, but usually you can go to a computer shop and actually just pay, 10 pesos, 5 pesos, and get started working online on hourly. I know a lot of people who've done that, or just go to computer shops, sit there, rent by the hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, have it open time, and then they can start getting an online job right there. You don't have to start with your own laptop, but that is one of the tools. The next is you need an internet connection, of course, because how can you work online if you don't have internet? So that's another cost that you will have to think about. And other costs could be, you going through a training or a study or anything else like that. But again, you don't really need that, but those are the primary costs. Other than that, you're just sending emails. You're just seeing who will accept you to have you started on the job. And then of course, doing a good enough job to get paid. So there's no really upfront costs for it if you're really low on budget. So there are other ways to get started when it comes to working online, even if you have no budget. Next common question is then, of course, how much does a virtual assistant earn? So this varies so much on who you're serving. So a lot of the time, if you're serving just a local client, just maybe from the Philippines, then you're probably not going to earn as much. Minimum probably is going to be 15,000 pesos or $300 and above. That's when you're starting out. Later on, you can ask for raises, you can ask for different things. I actually already made a video on how to ask for a raise, but that's if you're having a local client. Now, if you start applying online, if you start having more international clients, you can actually get paid higher and higher. I know some of them whose the minimum is actually about $500 to $700, which is about 25,000 to 30,000 pesos, which is like, whoa. But then you can already be comfortable enough to upgrade your skills, and then you can start earning more and more as you start niching down and being more specialized. The thing that you have to keep in mind here is that there's just a difference in economy. In the US, to get a teeth pulled, it's going to cost you 10,000 pesos or $200. But here in the Philippines, just get a teeth pulled, it's about 500 pesos or $10. So you have to keep in mind that difference in economy. That's why they can afford to pay you more. So don't try to price yourself for a local client really, really high just because you can price your international client really high, because they just can't afford it. They're just not able to make that shift because they're not earning enough to have that economic difference between you and them. Another common question is just schedule. Can you choose your own schedule? The answer is yes. Most of the time, clients will just say, hey, I just need this done. It's up to you what time you want to work. But sometimes there will be clients who will ask you to stay up, maybe stay a little bit later, just so you can sync, just so you can have a quick meeting before you go to bed. But most of the time, yes, you can choose your own schedule. Again, it depends on the client that you choose to work with, which then answers the next question, which is, do I need to be available for my clients 24/7? Answer is no. You're not supposed to do that. Same thing with having an actual real in-person employer. You're not supposed to be there for them 24/7. You choose your own hours. You set the boundaries of how much you're going to work, when you're going to work with your boss early on in the relationship. Next question is, how do I get paid? How do you receive money? Now, the best and easiest one for most people is PayPal. It's still PayPal, even though there's a lot of different news out there about how difficult it is actually sometimes to get money, but then it's just one of the most seamless ways. However, I've heard of other places like TransferWise where you can just connect your bank to it, and it's easy because then your client can also just connect their bank to it. That's another way. There's always been Western Union or other ways that you can just send and remit money, but then the easiest way has always been PayPal. It's still the one that I use myself because most clients are already using PayPal to get themselves. Now, what are the benefits to actually working as a virtual assistant? Now, of course, the first thing is just the flexibility. You get to work online, you get to work from home or anywhere that you want. You get to choose your own hours, and you also get to have just the more variety of things that you get to do. You're not just stuck in a cubicle doing the same thing over and over again. As a virtual assistant, as someone who earns online, you're actually opening yourself up to other possibilities, so other skills, again, other skills that you can start learning even while you're on the job. You also just open yourself up to a lot of other job opportunities that you wouldn't have otherwise when you're just searching for a local job pool. So that's another benefit to working online, is you're just not stuck in the place, in the city that you're in. You don't have to move physically for anything. You're just having already a job online, which means that you can have an employer from Canada, from Switzerland, from Australia, and then you're still comfort of your own home. Next common question is, am I allowed to have more than one client? Quick answer is yes, but you have to learn time management. It also depends on the client that you're working with. Some of them will just want you to have this job, just focus on this job, because it does take your brain time to shift from different projects and tasks. However, sometimes you might just be hired for just 20 hours a week for this one client, so you need another client to kind of sustain you, to have you be on a full-time job. So it really, again, it depends on the client you work with, but you can generally just choose to. You can say, okay, these are my packages. I only work, 4 hours out of a day. You can have a different project at the same time, different types of clients. Again, this is up to you. You can have more than one client, but it's not usually recommended. It's usually better if you work full-time, especially if you're just starting out. But then that is still an option. That's one of the benefits with working online. And lastly, where can I find free training? So there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of us who put out a lot of YouTube videos that are free that you guys can consume, that you guys can go through. There's also a lot of Facebook groups, and I'll link them down below, different Facebook groups that you can join so you can start learning how to work online for free. A lot of them do webinars, a lot of them do quick classes, and all of them are free. You just go on Google and search how to be a virtual assistant. There's going to be a lot of articles that you can go through, that you can study when it comes to working online. I myself offer a coaching service for people who want to work from home, but on the side of that, people can just ask me questions back and forth, as long as really quick ones. And when it comes to working from home, there's going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation, or just an overload of information. So I want to make sure that you guys will be able to get the clearest ones. So you can check out other videos that I have right here, and make sure to hit subscribe right there to be able to know, again, more videos that I have coming up when it comes to working from home. Now, if you guys have any favorite takeaways from this video, let me know and comment it below. Hit the like button right there so I know that these are kind of videos that you guys like. Now, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!